Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back to WTIM, your information station. My name is Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM morning show. Before we get going here with another great conversation, thanks so much to the sponsors that make it possible. People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark. On the phone line now, we have Sasha Young, Superintendent of Central A&M School District. How are you today, Sasha?
I'm well, thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for taking the time today. You got some great things to talk about to our listeners today, some great student accomplishments out there. So let's get right into it. You have some big student celebrations coming up. So I want you to talk about the first one that comes to your mind here.
Sure. So our first celebration that I would like to, just kind of share with everyone, we had 2 high school students who competed in a C-SPAN student cam documentary competition, and they placed high enough that they won a $750 prize, and their video they created is actually available on the C-SPAN's website.
Wow.
So our students have been competing in this competition for several years, and this is the first time that anyone has kind of placed high enough to actually be, shared on the website. They placed 3rd in the nation.
Wow.
So that's very exciting. Yep.
How cool is that, being featured on C-SPAN, a student documentary, 2 high schoolers right there? And
Yes.
It sounds like it could be a future career path for those kids right there. I mean, what comes to your mind when you see your school represented like that?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's another way to celebrate and empower our students to go in whatever direction their heart feels like it.
Yeah.
Their goal was to create a video on the most important change in our country over the past 20 years. And they actually created a film on factory farming.
Wow.
And so something near and dear to our community's hearts. And they did really well. And there were over 3,000 competitors. So to place 3rd in the nation is quite an accomplishment.
Yeah, giving it some perspective right there. A lot of
Yeah.
entries go into this, and they found a topic very relevant to them, and also
They did.
like a
Yeah.
big change. That is a huge change right there. Have you
Yes.
gotten a chance to watch it?
I have not seen it yet,
Right.
but it is on my list of things to do.
Totally. That's a long
Yeah.
list. We're speaking with the superintendent right now. No time
Yeah.
to go watch documentaries, but that's really cool. And that's just on the C-SPAN website if any listener
is.
wants to go
Yep.
watch that.
C-SPAN website.
Awesome.
Right?
Awesome. Really cool.
First-
And yeah, go ahead.
First to win in our history of being in the competition. So,
Wow.
Jesse Nielsen and Sophia Lehman did an amazing job, and we're super proud of them. We've celebrated them a couple times, but
Of course.
celebrations to continue.
Yeah.
Right?
Much
Yeah.
worthy of that celebration. That is really awesome right there. And how long have you guys been submitting these? This is a pretty cool initiative I haven't heard of.
I think that Mr. Brown, our high school principal, when he reported on it this week at the board meeting, I think he said we've been competing in it over 8 years.
Wow.
So
Okay.
I don't know if that 8 is actually closer to a decade. I'm not sure, but I'm confident he said over 8 years now.
Wow.
We've been putting kids into this competition and giving them this opportunity.
Yeah, some
So-
pretty rich history
Yeah.
right there, and yet again,
Absolutely.
those are all years right there where students learned a lot, I'm sure, by creating these documentaries and submitting it. I'm sure, and you mentioned already that these students just have the opportunities to go and venture out and really approach anything they want to with this educational minded framework. So that's really cool right there. There's more student celebrations, if you can believe that, out there, folks. There's the first student celebration we talked about right there was a documentary that is appearing on C-SPAN. 2 high school students completed that. How cool is that? Now, what's another one of these student celebrations, Sasha?
So our 5th grade students every year compete in a Rube Goldberg competition where machines and engineering, and they try to, they always have a task they have to complete with the machine that they create. So Mrs. Villanueva's class competed in Rube Goldberg Challenge on March 2nd in Decatur, and their task was to move a piece of toast from the toaster to another location, and they placed 2nd at that local competition. So in April, they will be advancing to a competition at the U of I.
Wow, that is so awesome right there. For those of you that might not know what a Rube Goldberg machine is out there, it's performing a simple task like flipping a light switch or something. But you guys build these crazy contraptions where a ball rolls down a rail and then knocks into some books that knocks over the books. So that is really awesome. Did you get to see the Rube?
Chain of events competition.
That is
right?
exactly the word we were looking
They
for.
worked on it the engineering project was I think 6 to 8 weeks long
Wow.
from start to finish. So it was quite an adventure, and I did not get to see it, but I plan to go to the U of I to watch the competition there. I was unavailable to go to the Decatur competition, but they came back and they were super excited about their second place, and we're actually sending all of our fifth grade class that day to go support, the kids that did advance. So it'll be exciting. It'll be a nice way to celebrate another really cool accomplishment,
Yeah.
So,
That'll make it even more special, sending the other students down there with them. They're up there with them. That's gonna be a really fun time. We're talking about the Rube Goldberg experiment. That's fifth graders, you said?
yes,
That's
our fifth graders.
that's like a rigorous program there for them. 6 to 8 weeks. They got to stick with it, but it's probably they have a good time with it. I'm assuming.
Oh, yes. I'm sure it was nothing but fun,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Students don't tend to get as frustrated as adults do when it comes to things not working the way, you want them to. So
Yeah, and with the Rube Goldberg experiment, there's a lot of failure that you have to go through in
there
order
is,
to.
and that sometimes is the best way to learn, right?
Absolutely.
It's not failure. It's let's do it a different way.
Sure.
So yeah.
Awesome. We're talking about another student celebration over there at Central A&M School Districts. The high schoolers have been talked about. We're talking about the elementary school right now. You mentioned some FFA poultry judging before we got on air. Talk to me about this.
Yeah. So our FFA is very active here
Okay.
at Central A&M. They compete in a lot of competitions. They recently competed in a poultry judging competition at Meridian. Meridian hosted the competition, and we placed third in
Wow.
at the sectionals. So we will compete again in April at the state level. So we had some students who placed individually, as well as the team placing for third. And some of those things that they did was they had to take a content test. They were judging hens, identifying chicken parts, evaluating poultry meat. So all kinds of different things go into a poultry judging contest. But again, another reason to celebrate. Our students here third at sectional. So yeah.
Just another really fun accomplishment right there. And FFA, it's a big program for you guys out there in Central A&M. So it must mean that much more.
Absolutely. We have a lot of students involved in FFA.
Yeah.
They're, like I said, they're very active. They do breakfast for farmers. They're not just active with FFA, but they're active in our community as well. And some of the best kids we have.
Yeah.
So another reason to celebrate.
Yeah.
Being a Raider.
Absolutely. Yeah. I love the initiatives where the FFA programs go out and actually bring those meals to farmers. I feel like we've talked about that. Can you explain that little program you guys do?
So that they bring the meals to the farmers program. There's also, we had a breakfast where we invited them into our facilities and fed them breakfast. It's just a way to say thank you.
Yeah.
We appreciate what our farmers do for our community and for the nation, right? And so what better way to say thank you than to, fill their bellies.
Absolutely. Pretty great way to do that. And Sasha Young, we're going to wrap up our first segment right here, but we've been talking about some great successes over in Central A&M School District with these documentary appearing on C-SPAN, the Rube Goldberg experiment with the fifth grade class, and of course the FFA poultry judging. You have any thoughts to wrap up all these great successes?
Well, we're just living our mission of empowering and celebrating excellence. And it's not always academics. Sometimes it's creativity, and sometimes it's activities that you're involved in, but we're just living our mission. Yeah.
Absolutely. I love that mission. It really is. You guys are speaking that into existence right here with all of that stuff. We're going to learn more about some of these academic programs and of course some sports when we come back with Sasha Young, Superintendent of Central A&M School District. My name is Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. Thanks so much to the sponsors that make the show possible: People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark. You are listening to WTIM, your information station. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back with Sasha Young.
Your information station, WTIM.
As a registered nurse, I want more than just another workplace. I want a place for my nursing career to thrive. That's why I choose to work at Memorial Health. Memorial is a place where I feel valued and where I'm part of an amazing, supportive team. If that sounds like the place for you too, apply to become a Memorial nurse today. See benefits and schedule an interview online at jobs.memorial.health/nursing. Memorial is an equal opportunity employer.
If you've been in the hospital and need a little extra help to get back to doing the things you care about, give Taylorville Care Center a call. They offer therapy to help you recover and return home as quickly as possible. They even offer private rooms for rehab to home. Your local doctor or their medical director can follow your care, and your family and friends can visit you while you're recovering. With individualized plans of care, their entire staff offers a care experience like no other. Financial counseling for long-term stays is available too. Taylorville Care Center, caring for the community for nearly 50 years. Call them today.
When the concert sells out before you buy tickets.
When the restaurant runs out of what you just ordered.
When the outfit you love is no longer available in your size.
That's not fun.
And Jansen's wants to make sure you don't feel that way again. So this is your final reminder to purchase an AC at the regular price and get a brand new, fully warranted furnace for just $2,009.
That's $1,867 less than what you typically pay.
These are not scratch and dents. They're brand new, factory fresh, and super efficient.
In fact, if your new system doesn't save you at least 20% on your energy bills, Jansen's may pay you double the difference for 2 years.
You really don't want to miss out on this, do you?
Only a handful of systems remain, and we will soon sell out.
Don't wait, or as the old saying goes, you'll be a day late and $1,867 short.
Or something like that.
562-5201.
JansensHeating.com.
As we celebrate the Lenten season, enjoy great food and get the nutrition you need with delicious, nutritious farmer-owned Prairie Farms dairy products. Prairie Farms no-fat or low-fat cottage cheese and Prairie Farms yogurt are great as a salad or just by themselves. Prairie Farms sour cream, butter, and dips are part of any family get-together, too. And try the new Prairie Farms Original Cream Cheese in an 8-ounce size. The farm families of Prairie Farms Dairy wish you and your family a blessed Easter season.
Scott Primer here from Locust Grove Church near Assumption. We're spreading the good news of Christ in person and online. Come join our family or watch our video sermon podcast by clicking our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Lauren Asali here, owner of Schaefer Perfetti and Asali Funeral Home, Taylorville's only locally owned and operated funeral home. We honor lives and celebrate memories. Find out all about our services we provide by clicking on our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back to WTIM, your information station. My name's Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. Before we continue with another great conversation here, we'd like to thank the sponsors that make it all possible. People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark. On the phone line now is Sasha Young, Superintendent of Central A&M Schools. We talked about some great student celebrations in that first half right there. Now we're going to move on to something else. Sasha, thank you so much for taking the time being here with us today.
Absolutely. Happy to be here.
Awesome. So there's some pretty big news concerning the sports world in Central A&M School District, and especially for football. Talk to me a little bit about this.
So earlier this year, we started discussing the possibility of renovating our football field at Moequa. Some research we dug into appeared to the last time we maybe had some updates to the football field would have been like 1995 or 1997. Our field had lost its crown, and we have like puddling issues and all kinds of things that come from just not maintaining it at the level we probably should have maintained it at. So the board, we went out for bid, we took some bids, and we actually just approved moving forward on renovating our football field this week at the board meeting. So we have a company coming from Tolono. They're going to come and help us kind of strip the field down to bare minimum. We'll be putting in an irrigation system and then rebuilding our crown with sod and grass. And they're telling me it'll be ready for football season 2024. So it will begin probably late April, early May. So it'll be kind of a construction zone for a few weeks over there, but we're excited. We're happy to, be able to make this work, right? It's nice to be able to put some money into facilities once in a while and update some places. And, it's a great day to great day to be a Raider,
Absolutely.
especially in football field nation. So yeah, we're excited.
Yeah, huge strides taken on that since the last time we talked about it, and all that
Yeah.
movement running through the board right now, and it's passed. So that is really really awesome. You guys going the irrigation system. I mean, you guys are doing it the right way. It sounds like grass and not
Yes.
turf. Is that all right?
Nope.
Uh,
We are going with sod as
okay.
our
Yeah.
option. There was some conversation in the beginning around turf, and we did a little research, and the conversation kind of shifted. So we're excited to be doing the grass and the sod. We think it'll look amazing, and it'll be amazing, and it'll be great to be on it starting in August. Yeah.
Absolutely, and a quick turnaround there, and we'll talk about that in 1 second. But yes, I mean the feel of the real grass. Many athletes will say it beats out the turf, so I'm sure many people will be happy to be hearing that. But it is a quick turnaround. You said this should be ready by football season this coming fall.
Yep.
Okay.
That's the plan.
All
So
righty.
apparently the sod that we are going to be using just takes a few weeks to really take root.
Great.
And so we may have to be on the practice field a little bit longer,
Sure.
this season, but it'll be well worth it.
Yeah.
To be able to be on our new football field, newly renovated football field in the fall.
Absolutely. Huge momentum right there for sports and football and specifics right there. And we're speaking with Sasha Young, Superintendent of Central A&M School District. Now, Sasha, so many things have happened this year, successes and renovations. We've talked through so many of these months, but we have to remember, and I always forget, that this is your first year as a superintendent for Central A&M School District. I mean, does that even feel real to you, that this is still your first year?
Sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. When you introduce me and say my title here at Central A&M, I kind of am like, oh yeah, that is what I do here. But yeah, it's been a super quick year, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
We've accomplished a lot, and we have a long ways to go still. So I am super happy to be here, and I feel like this has just been one of the biggest blessings.
Sure.
So I'm excited for what's to come.
Absolutely, and great to hear you speak into the future like that, and just be thinking of so many more successes there. I remember the first time we spoke, one of the biggest goals and focuses for you was learning the staff, learning the mission, and it feels like you've carried out that mission very well, and it feels like the staff is responding well too. I mean, have you been seeing the way you started? Do you think you started this thing right in order for you to propel yourself to where you are now?
Yeah, I would hope so. I feel like I've really made an effort to get to know our community and our people who are here, and understand why we do things the way we do things. And another goal of mine was not to come in and make some big changes, but just get to know what we're doing well, and see where some areas are that we could grow. And I think I've done that. So yeah, I would say that it's been pretty successful.
Certainly sounds that way when you come on the morning show with us, which we always appreciate. In our last 2 minutes here, you were just speaking on some things, some points of focus, things to improve on. You guys are running through state testing in all your grade levels right now. Is that correct?
We are, yeah.
Okay. And
3 through 12. Yeah. So state testing, IAR with the elementary and the middle school, Illinois Science Assessment with elementary, middle school, and high school, and then high school with the SAT and the PSAT. So Illinois passed an Illinois Comprehensive Literacy Plan this year, which basically just is a really huge push for kids reading on grade level and catching up. We've seen some across the state, we've seen some declines in reading and writing and literacy. And so they created this comprehensive plan that they've been working on for several years. And it's kind of just guidance, right? And so as I was looking through it, we're doing a lot of things right here at Central A&M, but we also have started sending our teachers to some trainings to help familiarize ourselves with this new plan and how we go forward from there. Are there any new changes that we need to bring? But so it's exciting, in the world of academics as well. Lots of testing, lots of, small little tweaks here and there to just keep moving forward.
Absolutely.
And helping our kids learn.
Yeah. I love the sound of the proactive approach right there and tackling this literacy issue. Sasha, any final words you want to wrap up our conversation with here today?
No, I'm just thankful to be on here and to talk with you again, and I can't wait to do it in the future.
Absolutely. Well, we are looking forward to it as well. That was Sasha Young, Superintendent of Central A&M School District. Always a great conversation with Sasha. My name's Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. Thanks so much to the sponsors that make it possible. People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark. You are listening to WTIM, your information station.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason. Riding the